I mean, this is just another angle, and I think, it's so far, obviously, has not had a big market impact, but, the midterms are moving more and more into focus. Depending on what happens, I mean, one thing's for clear, we look at the China tariffs, I mean, actually, the majority of the public in the US seems to support this. So that's actually not going to be something that's really going to get in the way of Republicans or Trump into the midterms. But clearly, all the other gyrations on the political front and pressure that's building with regard to Korean, etc., is something that could have a big bearing on the midterm.
So this is interesting, right? This is something that Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross was talking about as well, this patriotism on the part of Americans, willing to take the pain, willing to, I guess, take the bullet. For up to 50, when it gets to 200?
That's an issue, right? Because I think, yes, there is a willingness. I think there's a general feeling that China, in the US, that is, that there's a feeling that China have taken advantage of the US. They've had higher tariffs, etc., on US goods. And this is being supported. But, of course, once it starts to bite into your pocket, and this is the Rust Belt and some of the Midwestern states that will really support the Republicans and Trump into the midterms, that's a big issue, and I think then you start seeing a political backlash on the back.
And just allied to that, we know that the president is a former real estate guy. He doesn't seem to have any problem with debt. He does have a problem with higher interest rates, and that speaks to his base as well. I'm just wondering, Mitul, aside from the politics of all of this, is there a justification, an economic rationale for the Fed to pause?
At this point, I think it's hard to argue for the Fed to pause. I mean, I think, we're not, as you say, yes, there is some impact on the data, but it's not significant, at least in our view. I think, we still have to see growth really starting to slow, price rises having a bigger impact on prices in terms of tariffs. And if that is the case, the Fed might have to hike more rather than cut or pause. So I think the Fed is still very much on track to continue hiking rates on the gradual basis that we've heard. September, looks pretty likely at this point in time, given the Fed stance. The big risk, in my view, is that we start to see an acceleration in core CPI or CPI, which actually prompts the Fed to hike even more than they have to. Now, the issue could be, not that they have to, that they're currently planning, and the issue could be if growth starts to soften at a time when inflation is picking up because of the tariffs, then you could start to see worries about stagflation.
Situation.
Exactly. No, we're not there yet, of course.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.